Hello and welcome to my channel, The Phenomenal English with Shiman. I'm your comparative English and accent trainer Shiman, and in this video we're going to talk about how to speak of comparison in English. Right, in our day-to-day life we often keep comparing one thing to another, so that's why it is really important to develop the way of comparison in your speech to be an advanced level English speaker. So we all know that we are quarantined, we are getting bored sometimes, but yes, with this video of mine you won't feel confined, because after this lesson, after this rather interesting lesson I must say, you'll be able to compare the beautiful things in your life and cherish them even when you are quarantined. All the comparing words in English are either adjective or adverbs. So adjectives are describing words and adverbs are you can call them the modifiers of adjective. How an adjective is processed, how adjective works is all about the adverb. So anyway, we'll talk about adjective and adverbs in some other video, but today I'm going to talk about how to compare. Right, so to compare we first need to know that there are three states of comparison which we call degree of comparison. Right, so if those comparing words are adjectives, we call them degree of adjectives. Now there are three degree of adjectives, as I said, and those are positive, comparative and superlative. Let me tell you that with the help of a chart. Subscribe my channel and click on the notification bell icon as shown to get notified of my future videos. So on the screen now you can see a table containing degree of comparison, or rather degree of adjectives. And just like I said earlier, there are three categories of degree of comparison: positive, comparative and superlative. First word, as you can see, is sweet. It is a positive degree, and the comparative degree is sweeter and superlative is sweetest. Just like that, for most of the words you can convert from positive to comparative just by adding er, and superlative just by adding est. So you can see sweet, sweeter, sweetest, young, younger, youngest, high, higher, highest. Similarly, up to wise, wiser, wisest. So all of them are converted to comparative just by adding er, and converted to superlative just by adding est. Similarly, you have a long list after that, from fine to big. Right, so fine, finer, finest, and you can see all of them are pretty same, and sometimes the spelling gets different if there is a y at the end of this word. Just like you can see easy becomes easier, their spelling is a little different with ier, and easiest is iest. Otherwise all of them are pretty same. When you convert to comparative, just add er, and while superlative you just add est. And there's another change of spelling you can see when it comes to wet. Yes, that last consonant becomes double. Right, similarly in big, again you have double G, in biggest you have double G, just like that. So the spelling sometimes might differ, otherwise it's all the same. But one exceptional thing you must notice, that when it comes to a bigger word like difficult, as you can see in the screen, it is a trisyllabic word, and for this we have a different rule. So let me tell you first what a trisyllabic word is. Trisyllabic means the word that takes your three breaths to be pronounced. Just like say difficult. See, difficult. You need three syllable. So here, while converting into comparative, you use more difficult. And as far as the superlative is concerned, you convert it to most difficult. You can't just add er or est. There's no word like difficulter or difficultest. And the similar rule applies for important. It's another trisyllabic, and the same rule is for all the trisyllabic, or rather most of the trisyllabic. There might be some exceptional thing as well, but for most of them you need to add more for comparative and most for superlative. That's what the rule says. Well, there is another exception that I must draw your attention to, that is ill or bad. You can see in the list ill or bad. So bad has a comparative form in likes of worse. So bad is not badder, bad becomes worse, and the superlative is worst. Similarly, the good becomes better in comparative and best in superlative. Well, those are exceptional, so you must keep them in your mind. Now watch the video till the end, because there will be some advanced level useful tricks so that you can compare in English like an absolute pro, right? And there's a part 2 as well, so don't just click away, just watch the video till the end, don't skip it, right? So that you can get all the useful skills you need. Now when you compare or describe a particular thing without comparing, when you describe a particular thing without comparing to anything or anyone in particular, then it falls under the category of positive. Let me tell you how. Let's say there's a girl called Dakota. So Dakota is a sensible girl, right? So now we're using the word sensible to describe Dakota. So we are using that positive degree, right? So we are not comparing Dakota to anyone in particular. We're just saying that Dakota is sensible. So we are using the sensible, and it is the positive degree of the word. Now let's say we are to compare Dakota's sensibility to that of her sister, right? So when we are drawing a comparison between Dakota and her sister, then it falls under the category comparative degree, right? So comparative degree of adjective. And how we say that? Dakota is more sensible than her sister. Right. Now we are using more sensible because, as I just told you, that whenever there is a 3-syllabic word, just like sensible is, so for 3-syllabic words the comparative degree becomes more sensible, right? For any comparative degree, for any 3-syllabic word, the comparative degree starts with more and the superlative starts with most. So therefore the sensible's comparative degree becomes more sensible. So Dakota is more sensible than her sister. We are drawing a comparison between two. Now let's say we are drawing a comparison of Dakota to all her family members. Then it will fall under the category of superlative degree. And how you say that? You say that Dakota is the most sensible of all her family members, or Dakota is the most sensible in her family. That's how you say. So it is a superlative degree. So now up to this is elementary or basic of comparison. Now if you want to talk like an advanced speaker and compare in advanced level, we need to add a bit more skills to our speech. Now how it is, let's say Dakota is sensible and her sis is equally sensible. Now how you compare that? You say Dakota is as sensible as her sister, right? The two are equally sensitive, the two are equally sensible. So you say Dakota is as sensible as her sister, and it still falls under the category positive degree. Now you say, no, we are comparing two of them, right? Yes, we are comparing two of them, but in comparative degree, one has to be one grade up or one grade down than the other. Here both are equal, so it can't be a comparative degree. It is a positive degree. So just like that, when the two compared things are equal, you take the help of as, describing word as. Like, as I said, Dakota is as sensible as her sis. Let's say Dakota's eyes are black and it is like jet black, right? So you say Dakota's eyes are as black as jet. Dakota's skin is as white as pearl. When both the things are equal, so you say as, describing word as. So with the help of that, you can describe both the equal things together. Okay, so I gave you an example. Dakota's skin is as white as pearl. Now I'm not a racist, so I'm not gonna say that that is only a white skin. Let's say Dakota's skin is as brown as chocolate. So that can be another example, so don't take me for a racist. So that's how it is. So whatever it is, if both the things are equal, so you can take the help of as, describing word as, right? Let's say you want to say, okay, you want to go somewhere and you need to make it early, right? And at your level best. So you say, I need to be there as early as possible, right? So let's say you ate a lot yesterday. You ate as much as you could. So you say, I ate as much as I could, right? So that's how it is. When you're talking about two things and which are same, almost equal, so you take the help of as, describing word as, right? Just like for this current situation, we need as many doctors as possible to fight against COVID-19. So that's how it is. When both the things are equal, you take the help of as dash, describing word as. That's how it is. Okay, now let's say just remember, in comparison, we take the example Dakota is more sensible. Now let's say Dakota isn't more sensible, her sister is more sensible, but we still want to start the sentence with Dakota. So you can say Dakota is less sensible than her sis. Now, okay, there can be a common kind of confusion that one might say, okay, I'll just say Dakota is not more sensible than her sister. You may say, but that doesn't mean Dakota is less sensible. When you say Dakota is not more sensible, that might mean Dakota is as sensible as her sis. So if you want to say Dakota is one grade down, so you say Dakota is less sensible, right? Yeah, you may say the other way around, her sister is more sensible. That makes sense as well. But yeah, so if you want to start the sentence with Dakota anyway, so that's how it is. So you say Dakota is less sensible than her sister. So that is the end of this interesting lesson. This is just part one. We have still to talk about this comparison thing, right? There is a part two of this comparison lesson. I'll be soon back with that video. Keep watching my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed it already.